Hello, and a very warm welcome in a cold time of year. It's the 6th of July, 2026. And we're talking about, and this may sound irrelevant at the moment, a recipe for coping with stress. This comes to you from the grad team. My name is Ruda Landman. You're on holiday at the moment, blissfully free of all the tensions and stresses of campus life. But, sorry to remind you, soon you will be going back, and you may once again feel like the poor girl in our picture on your phone. There is an upside, though. You have time at the moment to think, and you can use that to practice how to counter that tension when it comes again. Here are some practical pointers. In the first place, accept your tension as natural. When you get tense before a test or an exam, for example, remind yourself that if you were an athlete waiting for the starting whistle, you would experience the same symptoms, but you would see it as psyching yourself up rather than stressing out. You are faced with a test of your abilities. Your whole system is preparing for that. That is natural and good, provided it doesn't overpower you. So to keep yourself on an even keel all the time, not only during exam time and test time, have a schedule and stick to it rigidly. I cannot stress this enough. I've talked about it so often in the course of this year. But if you don't have a specific daily schedule, you will just put so much pressure on yourself and you will never know where you are with everything you have to get done. Have a schedule, stick to it rigidly. Go to bed at the same time every night. Get up early and set to work. Start every day, and this is a different one that you may not consider normally. Start every day with a 5-minute meditation. You can find an easy guide in a previous thought for the week, and the link is in the text on your phone. It's titled Breathe Time. That was written as support during exams, but it is a general grounding exercise which will put you in control rather than being at the mercy of the emotions you're trying so hard to suppress. Practice it now when there's no time pressure. Reread another one of our thoughts for the week. This one was about 2 months ago, and it was called Fear of Failure. That link too you will find on your phone. This is the bogeyman that is threatening you, the dark shadow in the corner that scares you so much you can't think. Face it to deal with it. Name it to tame it. And to help you do that, let's go back to basics, the ABCDE of Resilience. If you have the grad book with you, you can also look it up and have it written in front of you. A is for the activating event. What is the cause of the problem? You probably have something that is the main trigger for your stress. It may be a specific subject or your family situation or even relationship problems. Think it through and write it down, short and clear. That was the A. B is for belief. What belief is triggered by A? If the stress is about a subject, for example, the belief may be, I will never be able to do this. In a relationship, it may be, he will never love me. It's a belief. Then C is for consequence. How does this activated belief make you feel? And then we get to do the work. D is for dispute. Is this belief the only possible interpretation? So the link between the activating event and the belief, between A and B. Number 1, do you have evidence to support the connection you made? 2, is there a possible alternative interpretation? 3, really? Are you sure you are not exaggerating? And 4, can you choose a more positive interpretation of what happened, which would make you feel happier? And then E, A, B, C, D, E, is for energize. Having gone through this thought process, energy becomes available for making new plans to work on the problem. Let's see how this will work in practice. Take this example, which came up in one of Study Trust's mentor visits to campuses. A third-year IT student from a deep rural background overcame huge obstacles by not only making it to university, but also all the way to third year. He did very well in his June exams, obtaining 3 distinctions. But now all was in the balance again. To graduate, he had to complete 6 months of what is called experiential learning. He had to find somewhere to work for 6 months. So let's look at the ABCDE. The activating event was not getting a position to complete that training. The belief it triggered was they don't look for achievement, they just pick. C, the consequence, was that he felt completely discouraged and helpless. And now we get to D, dispute. The mentor helped him dispute the connection between A and B on the basis of information from other students. 1, the evidence, so this was evidence gathered from other students, never only go into your own head. Look at the world around you and see if there isn't other evidence. The evidence did not support the connection. Other students had found placements, and this did not seem random. 2, an alternative interpretation was that success was not random. The successful students had applied for more opportunities, 9 on average, as opposed to his 3. He did not communicate well, using ish, ja, ne, that type of interaction, and he did not prepare well for interviews because he did not believe it would make a difference. Then number 3, he was not exaggerating the impact, but 4, he could find a more positive interpretation. All the factors we mentioned were under his control, which lifted the feeling of helpless discouragement. So E, from this process, energy flowed, which allowed him to plan new actions to change the situation, practicing to communicate better, applying for more positions, improving his CV, and making use of his network. See if you can apply this process to your fears and worries at the moment. Perhaps even ask a friend to help you work through the ABCDE, guiding you with critical questions and prompts. I have a friend who often says to me, "Really? Is that really true?" It's a very good question. All of this involves the frontal cortex in the brain, putting the emotional inside brain back in its place. Enjoy the holidays, but use the time to train your reflexes for the next section of the long-term race you have embarked on. If you were a real runner, you would not waste free time. You would use it to train to be even better when you're back on the road. From the grad team. Do forward and share. Find us more people to listen and to, we hope, learn from this. Go well.